Well, you are exactly on time. It is 1 p.m. here on NTV at 1. My name is Hellen Aura and welcome to the broadcast. We begin with matters graft. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has recommended the prosecution of up to 47 public officials for various graft allegations amounting to 2.1 billion shillings. According to the details in the Commission's latest corruption report, the files have been handed over to the Director of Public Prosecutions, who will decide whether to prosecute or not. Among senior public officials and their accomplices in the Commission's radar is current Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Gladys Boss-Sholay. EACC says Sholay prosecuted for her role in the irregular purchase of a residence for the Chief Justice in 2013. The Commission has recommended that Sholay and her then deputy be charged with abuse of office and lack of project planning in the tender worth 310 million Kenya shillings. The residence remains unoccupied to this date. Also recommended for prosecution pending the approval of the DPP is former Wajir Governor Mohamed Mahmoud. He is accused on tender irregularities worth up to 1.2 billion Kenya shillings involving his wife Heria Malim, daughter Faria Mohammed, and senior aide and 12 companies associated with them. EACC says payments to the companies linked with the individuals were made without supporting documents. Further, Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Alex Tolgos is also in the EACC's radar for conflict of interest in the procurement of petroleum products from Cobcom Petroleum Limited, a company associated with him and a close ally in his days as Elgeyo boss. EACC says some 1.8 million shillings was irregularly paid to the company for supplying the product despite the clear conflict of interest and unlawful acquisition of public property. Also recommended for prosecution are 3 senior accountants at the Kenya Rural Roads Authority and their spouses for conflict of interest and unlawful acquisition of public property worth 274 million separate tenders. They are Joel Mutambu Kilonzi, Akera Regional Accountant for Lamu County for 108.5 million, Anthony Akolo Mukembo for tenders worth 146 million, and Esther Wanjiru worth 19 million. EACC is urging Parliament to fast-track the conflict of interest bill to take such cases. On to some other news now. The Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the National Assembly now says it will petition for the dropping of all court cases surrounding the reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. JLAC Vice Chairman Mwengi Mutuse claims the process has been captured by individuals not keen on a functional IEBC. This comes amid uproar on the delays and blame game by political players in the wake of a court case surrounding the nominations of Azimio Coalition representative to the selection panel.
Tumeona kwamba kuna karata. Kuna watu ambao wanaenda kotini wanazuia IBC isitengenezwe ndio warushie serikali maneno. Na tunataka tutangaze leo kwamba wale ambao mnafanya karata ya kutaka tusitengeneze IBC, you must declare your intentions. Kwa sababu sisi mahali tulipo tunataka IBC itengenezwe. We wanted IBC last year. We wanted IBC yesterday. We want IBC today. And we know the people who are derailing IBC ndio ionekane kwamba serikali ndio itaki IBC. You get political marks. Na tunataka kueleza kwamba karata yenu tunaijua and we will not allow you to derail Kenyans. IBC must be constituted. The selection panel lazima ikue. Tutaenda kotini mimi kama wakili tumalize hizo makesi so that we pave way so that Kenyans can have an independent electoral and boundaries commission to carry on the by-elections.
As 10 couples exchanged vows in a colorful mass wedding ceremony. The ceremony, the church waded into contemporary issues facing marriages, such as conflict and even killing of spouses and children, advising families to embrace dialogue. Zachary Nyakweba has the details.
It was a day of celebration, joy and spiritual renewal at SCK St. Barnabas, Ngoini, as 10 couples solemnized their union in front of family, friends and the church community. The event, officiated by retired Reverend Dr. Timothy Gishere, was more than just a wedding. It was a call to build peaceful, God-centered families.
We want our marriages to remain firm because we want to impact upon the next generation. We would like our marriages to remain firm, husbands loving their wives, so that whatever we do in the marriages, we will continue to show the love of Christ in our lives.
Bishop Gishere also calling on policymakers and leaders at all levels to unite in the fight against sexual and gender-based violence by streamlining laws to act as a deterrent to potential perpetrators.
The same way, we would like our country to remain peaceful, people loving each other. We don't want politics of hate. We don't want politics of deceit. We don't want politics of hypocrisy. We want open-minded politicians, people who are prepared to unite the country, and people who are prepared to focus.
The newlyweds sharing a message of hope and goodwill to those seeking to take the step.
Tunaona Mungu akitubariki, tunaona Mungu akitutoa bahari, juu hii jambo imefanyika juu ya maombi. Kwa hivyo ninasihi watu wote wajitahidi kuomba,
na ninawasihi vijana wadogo wale wanaingia kwa kehiko waweze kwa ndoa wajitahidi kabisa.
Coming at a time of deteriorating family values in society, the mass wedding was not only a celebration of love, but also a powerful call to finding amicable solutions to a rising conflict.
Hii maisha inakuwa gumu, na hii maisha mpaka muelewane na ule mko na yeye bibi yako, muelewane vizuri mpaka muelewane ndio mpelekane njia moja.
We are so proud today. We have 10 couples who are ceremonizing their wedding today, and we are grateful to them. We are happy for them. May God keep your marriages. May God bless you. And I pray that may God give peace in our families, in our homes, so that we all build this country together.
The 2022 Kenya Health and Demographic Survey found that 54% of women aged 15 to 49 years in Murang'a had experienced sexual violence. In addition, 14% of women in the county experienced sexual violence, double the national rate of 7%. Zachary Nyakweba, NTV.
Although Kenya has made significant progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS, the rate of young people diagnosed with the virus is rising, a situation that threatens future generations. The adolescents and young people aged between 15 and 34 form the highest percentage of the new infections in the country. The riskiest age appears to be 20 to 24, where many young people are in college and universities. This Sunday, we air our special feature, Positive Youth, in which NTV's Rose Wangoi speaks to 4 young people living with HIV. Stay tuned for this tonight at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m.
I've been living with HIV since birth.
I came to know my status when I was in high school. I'm 23 years old, born of HIV positive.
We are not different from the others. We have to date, we have to give birth. We have to live like normal human beings.
I'm a Gen Z and we know this age in a level where we are all active.
Disclosure is the most toughest thing.
I used to disclose and the girl would either they would give an excuse or all of a sudden they become silent.
Looking forward to that piece by Rose Wangoi tonight at 7 and 9 p.m. That takes us on a short break here on NTV at 1, but don't go too far. We have much more lined up for you on the other side.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
Your profile says you don't drink.
Oh, and I missed out on the silky refreshing test?
For real? For real. Well, in that case, I'll have whatever he's having.
I drink responsibly. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Del.
Del who?
Del Monte.
Real recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
As we get ready to welcome the new year, I invite you to Siaya County for an unforgettable cultural and sporting experience.
This year to enrich the culture, to see that people can live in different communities, but they still share the same culture.
This December, join us for the Piny Luo and Migwena Cultural Festival, a celebration of the Luo people's timeless traditions. From December 30th to 2nd January, immerse yourself in the music, dance and stories that make our culture unique. And the celebration doesn't stop there. On January 2nd, 2025, we proudly unveil Siaya County's new stadium with an exciting showcase match between Gor Mahia and Kitara FC from Uganda. Be part of this historic moment.
Karibuni Siaya. Come celebrate with us and witness history in the making.
I've been living this HIV since birth.
I came to know for my status when I was in high school. I'm 23 years old, born of HIV positive.
We are not different from the others. We have to date, we have to give birth, we have to live like normal human beings.
I'm a Gen Z and we know this age in a level where we are all active.
Disclosure is the most toughest thing.
I used to disclose and a girl would, either they will give an excuse or all of a sudden they become silent.
Welcome back to the broadcast. You're watching NTV at 1 with me, Hellen Aura. Leaders in Tiati constituency of Baringo County have sounded the alarm on the rise in gender-based violence cases in the region. This comes after 24 community paralegals in the remote region have been trained in a bid to tackle the vices through alternative justice systems. The community paralegals who spoke during a sensitization meeting say they will help promote education, children's rights and fight against FGM cases. They note with concern that the practice, which is deep-rooted in some cultures within the region, has been normalized to a point where the perpetrators are being left to go scot-free.
Paralegals, in this case, they will be there to hold hands to the affected communities, to show them way, to take them to the police station, to provide instant legal advice, referral, and other services that paralegals do support, do provide in the community.
Tuna challenges aina nyingi, na ndio maana leo tunafurahi kwa sababu wananchi kadhaa wamefundishwa mambo ya legal issues na wataweza kusaidia wenzao.
Wanaume pia wanadhulumiwa na ndiposa tuko hapa kuangazia haki ya kila mmoja.
Kenyans have been urged to increase consumption of vegetables and fruits in order to address nutritional challenges among children. This push from different stakeholders working with the Department of Health and Trade in Mombasa is seeking to improve dietary diversity, especially in urban areas. Kevin Mutai has more from the coast.
The vegetable consumption campaign, which involves more than 2,000 vegetable and fruit vendors from the counties of Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru, Machakos and Kiambu, is targeting areas with huge populations. The program seeks to ensure that Kenyans consume foods that contain assorted micronutrients such as iron, vitamin A, iodine, zinc, folate, as well as vitamin A and B12.
Mafunzo yenye nimepata ni ya kukula mboga. Mboga ina madini mazuri sana ndani ya mwili. So hata makastoma wangu huwa nawahimiza sana. Mboga ni kitu ya maana. Kila kitu kikula ukiweka kwa meza, uweke mboga.
We also have other vitamins that are also very, very important that are found in vegetables like potassium, which is very key to our body. When we take a lot of vegetables, our health improves, become more healthier. It also improves the mental health of an individual.
Ukiangalia mboga zingine kama carrot inasaidia, iko na vitamini A nyingi ambayo inasaidia katika mambo ya kuona. Na mboga zinalainisha tumbo, ambapo utapata kwamba tumbo yako haitakuwa na shida za digestion.
The Kenya Demographic Health Survey conducted in 2022 shows that stunting in children stood at 18%. The study also reveals that stunting is higher among children in urban areas, standing at 20% than children in rural areas at 12%.
Ukiangalia katika taifa ya Kenya, tunatazamia kufikia watu milioni 4.7 kwa ujumbe wa kula mboga, na tunatazamia kwamba watu milioni 1.1 wataanza kula ile mboga.
The program is also targeting low-income households in order to increase the supply of the commodity.
Study ambayo inaitwa Cost of Hunger in Africa, study of 2019, ilionyesha kwamba Kenya inapoteza inapoteza kiwango kingi cha pesa ambacho ni bilioni 373 kupitia ile undernutrition ya watoto, na hizo ni pesa mingi, maana hiyo ni kiwango kama ile pesa ambao serikali yetu kuu inapatia na serikali za kaunti.
The program also seeks to address good agricultural practices and ensure that vegetables delivered to markets do not contain unhealthy levels of pesticides. It is estimated that only 5.2% of Kenyans consume the right amount of vegetables and fruits per day, while the rest are exposed to nutritional deficiencies. Kevin Mutai, NTV in Mombasa.
Well, I hope my news director was all ears when it comes to consuming your vegetables. Kilifi Governor Gideon Mung'aro has directed the county security team to stop harassing local brew traders, commonly known as Mnazi. Governor Mung'aro says he will call for a meeting between locals and the security officials across the 35 wards in the county in order to agree on the operational guidelines. The leaders in the region accuse the law enforcement agencies of harassing the traders, insisting that residents should be allowed to consume the traditional brew, especially during the festive season. Rabai Sub-County Deputy County Commissioner Joseph Lengarie has, however, warned that he will reprimand chiefs and their assistants who will allow disco matangas in funerals, since it is an avenue for violation of minors' rights.
Kama una mangwe wenda hapa kwa municipal uchukue leseni ya mangwe yako. Ni sawa, lakini kabla tuende sikukuu nishaongea na mkubwa wa polisi wa Kilifi, tutakuwa na mkutano na wamama wa mangwe. Kwa hivyo mtachagua wawakilishi wa kila sub county waje kwa hiyo mkutano. Tutawaruhusia watu wafanye biashara yao ya mnazi, tutawapa leseni.
Kama kuna mtu anakunywa mnazi wake, wachaneni na nini? Na yeye. Kama kuna mama anauza mnazi wake, wachaneni na yeye. Hii ni sikukuu na tunataka watu, kwa sababu hatungependa Disemba hii tusikie mumekuja ganda hapa ati mumeshika wauzaji mnazi mumewapeleka police station pale. Sisi hatutakubali mambo kama hayo.
Askari wangu pia msisumbue sana, najua watakuwa kasi, lakini wasisumbuke sana kwa sababu ya nyinyi kukataa kuchukua amri ya serikali. Kwa mfano, ule chief hiyo disco matanga inafanyika kwake, Januari mimi ndaanza kuandikiana naye barua.
Across the borders now, Ghana's President-elect John Dramani Mahama now says the West African nation will not abandon the country's billion-dollar package from the International Monetary Fund. Instead, he wants the review of the deal with an aim of tackling wasteful state spending and upgrading the energy sector. After winning the December 7th election by a wide margin, Mahama promised to tackle inflation and currency depreciation with an aim of mitigating the crisis of high cost of living. Dramani also says that he would renegotiate with the IMF program secured by the government of the outgoing president Nana Akufo in 2023. The IMF deal had helped to halve inflation and return the economy to growth. But Mahama said more work is needed to ease economic hardships. He adds that the revised IMF deal would also seek sustainable solutions to solve energy problems and help in avoiding regular power outage.
Let me be clear, when I talk about renegotiation, I don't mean we're jettisoning the program. People think that we want to jettison the program. No. We're not at the desk when the IMF program was negotiated. And so we're inheriting a program that we were not a party to. But of course, it was negotiated by the sovereign government of this country. And so we're bound by it. But what we're saying is within the ambit of the program, it should be possible to make some, adjustments to suit what the reality of the situation is.
From Ghana, we now head over to sports news with my colleague Elijah Oko. Elijah, today is the Manchester Derby at 7:30 and two key teams are playing tonight. Who are you supporting?
None of the above. I just hope for a draw.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best result for Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans.
I see. Tell us more now with the sports news.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning in and thank you for staying tuned. Welcome along to your home of sports. My name is Elijah Oko. Let's begin with the Kenyan football. And Ulinzi Stars head coach Danson Nyaudo now claims a fixture congestion in the Football Kenya Federation Premier League could be the reason for their poor results. Ulinzi Stars are second last in the standings and are winless in their last 6 games, with their last win coming on the 3rd of November against AFC Leopards.
The congestion in the league schedules is a big problem for the players. You play in Meru on Wednesday, you play in Kakamega on Saturday, you play in Machakos on Wednesday. The traveling and the fatigue is too much for the players. But you see, now it's a program you must complete. We're going to complete it.
And in motocross, the FIM Africa Central Motocross Challenge 2024 is currently underway at Vipingo Ridge in Kilifi County, with more than 60 participants from Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania taking part. The races started early with participants in different categories covering a 1.68-kilometer track in hot coastal climate. Among the categories is the Peewee 50cc, 65cc, 85cc, 125cc and 250 and 450cc and the veterans class. Uganda's Cesar Chandinga was the winner of the second edition of the Grand Mchana Open Pool Tournament that culminated on Sunday 13th at the Mchana Pub and Grill along Ngong Road. This year's tournament marked a historic milestone with the introduction of a ladies category, representing a significant move towards promoting inclusivity in the sport. Our reporter Victor Wafula has the details.
This ultimate test of skill, strategy and precision drawn players from all corners of the globe.
We had the men category, we have the ladies category, and then we had the teams category.
In the men's singles, Uganda's Cesar Chandinga kept the trophy in Uganda for a second consecutive year, overcoming Innocent Sami from Tanzania and Jeremiah Naido from South Africa to second and third respectively. The closest Kenyan, David Njane, placed 5th.
I just wish they could keep pushing it up, growing our game. Is really so lovely. And this year tournament is really so tough. Everyone has learned how to pot blocks. It's not everyone is walkover.
Yeah, the Uganda team is doing very well. Even Zambia, they even have national coaches who coach the young people. So for us, first is the PR to make sure that the good image of pool is taken out there.
Patricia Keruche, a key player for Team Kenya Ladies, expressed her optimism about competing the newly introduced ladies category despite her elimination.
Just one step to the quarterfinals. I met a very, very tough Ugandan lady and we played and she won.
But it's not just about the game itself. Behind every shot, every victory and every defeat, there's a bigger story to tell.
Sometimes just one shot can get you out of the tournament, or one shot can give you 98% chance to win or 98% chance to lose.
In Kenya, pool is still largely played in bars and small clubs, but the Pool Billiard Federation is tackling this head-on. Their vision is to devolve the sport across the country.
The federation have had an initiative of putting out county halls in different counties, whereby we can be holding these tournaments.
First, to start with, when I tell someone I play pool for a living, they get shocked because they know it's a bar sport. Maybe they think I gamble and stuff like that. But it's a professional sport. It's recognized by the government as a professional sport.
Pool is categorized as a betting sport. Even the license that we get is from Betting and Licensing Control Board. So we want to change that so that it can be recognized as a sport like the other sports.
Caesar took home a grand prize of 800,000, while the ladies singles champion was rewarded 260,000.
When it comes to prizes, we need more ladies to come in so that our prize money or our prizes can increase.
The stakes are high and the passion is real. Every player here knows that sometimes all it takes is one perfect shot to make history.
A lot of people just think pool ni uchukue hiyo cue stick ugonge tu uziweke. But the more you are into it, the more you understand that there is math in it. You have to be precise. You have to control the white ball.
This tournament is a reminder of the struggles our local pool players face. The Pool Billiard Federation is working hard to take this sport to new heights, but unfortunately, the journey hasn't been easy.
We've not received any funding through the federation. Yes, we've been having talks with them, but up to now, we've had struggles to send teams to the World Championships, to the African Championships.
So, whether you are cheering from the stands or watching from home, one thing is for sure. The Grand Mchana Pool Tournament is about more than just a game. It's about the heart and the soul and the people who make it happen. What's just happening behind me here is just a final that's about to start between Kenya and Zambia. But remember, it's not about football, it's not about athletics, it's about the game of pool. This game has struggled so much to get it going here in Kenya, but now it's just about time. Victor Wafula, NTV Sports.
Thank you, Victor Wafula, for that wonderful story. Let's cross over to La Liga, and Jude Bellingham scored for the 6th successive La Liga game as Real Madrid missed the chance to move top of the table after being held by Rayo Vallecano in a pulsating contest away from home. Vallecano stunned the travelling Madrid fans by taking a 2-0 lead in the opening 36 minutes. Unai Lopez took only 4 minutes to get onto the score sheet, with Abdul Mumin's header doubling the advantage 32 minutes later. However, the La Liga champions began to claw their way back into the game 3 minutes later through Federico Valverde, and by halftime they were level thanks to Bellingham. Real then when they host Manchester United in Sunday's derby against Manchester United at the Etihad Stadium, another blow to their dwindling hopes of retaining the Premier League title. They are 4th in the table and have just one victory to show for their last 10 games across all competitions. City are already out of the Carabao Cup and are 22nd in the Champions League table after 2-0 loss to Juventus on Wednesday, with only the top 24 teams avoiding elimination.
When the people say, what is the problem? The problem is the schedule. It's not the training, it's not the physio, it's not the doctors, it's not the players, it's not how they food, it's not how they rest. It's just one problem, it's the schedule. And the schedule, sooner or later, they will happen for all the clubs.
The type of understanding the game, the way they play, the confidence they have, even in these kind of moments, we have a lot to focus on our team. So our focus is totally, of course, we will have a strategy, try to win the game with the strategy like it should be, but we are focused just on.
Well, that's all we had for you in the world of sports. Allow me to hand you back to Hellen Aura.
Thank you so much for that, Elijah. Looking forward to the match tonight at 7:30 p.m. Before we close, I'd like to wish someone special and close to me, close to my heart, a very happy birthday. I know you're watching. Mom, happy birthday. I love you. That's all from us here on NTV. Do stay tuned and keep tabs on for the later broadcast. In the meantime, do enjoy the rest of your viewing and have a blessed Sunday.